in high definition. Central Coast News right now.
Angry protesters demand change that's still not coming. And tonight, President Barack Obama is getting impatient over a lack of progress in Egypt. And those protesters vowed to stay there all night. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jazz.
And I'm Mark. Right now, let's get the very latest on the crisis in Egypt. Today, President Hosni Mubarak defied demonstrators and refused to step down. Instead, he handed some of his powers to Vice President Omar Suleiman. Let's break down how the protesters reacted to Mubarak's announcement in a fact check tonight. A prominent reform advocate and Nobel Peace Laureate tweeted, quote, "Egypt will explode." Tomorrow, organizers are calling for even larger protests, if you can believe that. And the military's top generals are vowing to step in and secure the country.
They only agree on one thing, which is that they need the President Mubarak to leave. As an Egyptian, I'm really worried about the next period of time.
President Obama held a late-night meeting with his national security team at the White House and issued a statement saying, quote, "Egyptians are not convinced Mubarak is serious about democracy." Right now, let's catch you up on why the protests began in the first place. Protesters are calling for President Mubarak to step down after 30 years in power. They want a new democratic state. The protests are over economic conditions in the country where the cost of living has risen dramatically. Experts are also saying that riots in nearby Tunisia inspired the protesting in Egypt. Earlier today, Central Coast News caught up with a local Egyptian man who was not surprised by today's announcement. He thinks the best move is for Mubarak to resign immediately, but until then, he hopes the violence will end.
Standing tomorrow is Friday. Friday is a holiday in Egypt, and I just hope and pray to God that nothing big happens tomorrow.
The good news for them, their family that lives in Egypt, we're told is doing just fine. For the very latest developments, you can tune into our morning newscast on KION, that's beginning at 5 a.m. You could also stay on top of the very latest on the crisis in Egypt on our website, kcba.com. When you get there, just sign up for breaking news alerts on the left side of the homepage.
Meanwhile, a new application for your phone is sparking controversy with immigration rights activists. It pokes fun at the country's immigration system. Central Coast News reporter Asna Smith is live tonight in the Tech Center with why some people don't think it's a laughing matter. Asna?
Well, Jazz, I'm in the Tech Center because it is a game you can play on the web, iPad, or iPhone. It's called Smuggle Truck. The goal is to get the characters, illegal immigrants in this case, safely through a desert to cross the border. Take a closer look. This cartoon features a crowded truck carrying illegal immigrants. As you can see, it speeds along a bouncy desert highway. The people in the truck are thrown up in the air, some of them even fall on cactuses trying to cross the border.
It's an unfortunate attempt at satire of a very serious situation that we have in our border area.
Doug Keegan is part of the Santa Cruz Immigration Project and works with immigrants every day. Watching this game brings back painful memories. His video reminds him of family he knows who lost someone in a similar fashion.
It was hard to imagine the pain that that family suffered, and they're not alone. There have been hundreds of people who have died in the attempt to enter the United States.
Alchemy Labs on the East Coast created this product. I called and emailed them several times and never heard back. But on its website, the company said friends who had trouble immigrating to the U.S. inspired this game. The creator said he hopes this game makes a statement and helps improve our country's, quote, broken immigration system. As for Keegan, he thinks there's an easier road to reform than the bumpy one in this video.
The current situation is tragic for some, and in this case, it's become something of a joke, and it's not a joke at all.
Now, this game isn't out just yet. What you saw was just a preview. It's actually scheduled to be released next month. I'm Asna Smith in the Tech Center, your Central Coast News.
All right, new tonight in Prunedale, a police search ended with a fugitive being taken into custody. Titan mapping shows you where it happened at a storage unit on Prunedale North Road. Police were called out to a disturbance on Oak Hill, but before they got there, Robert Leggard was on the run. Police tracked him down at a storage unit and used a dog to kind of coax him out. Leggard was taken into custody for being under the influence of a controlled substance. A background search later revealed that Leggard was wanted on felony and misdemeanor warrants for possessing a weapon and drugs. New tonight, well, next time you head over to the grocery store, you might have to pay more for iceberg and romaine lettuce. It's all because of last month's cold spell. Ocean Mist Farms in Castroville said freezing temperatures in the Yuma and Coachella Valley have caused some of their crops to blister, which they had to throw out. Since supply is down, prices are significantly up. Industry Magazine reports wholesale prices have gone up $5 in the past week, and get this, more than $20 since last year.
We experience weather conditions that are lower this time of year, but this has been a severe freeze that has impacted not only Ocean Mist, but the industry.
Ocean Mist said it is inspecting their harvest every day and told us the prices may go back down as the weather gets better.
All right, Jazz, and right now I'm with Norm Hoffman in the Titan Weather Center. And Norm, just to clarify, this was just earlier this month. It's hard to forget because we've been having these great temperatures this week, but that cold snap really doing its damage.
Right. If you recall, though, I was talking about the cold air moving down through Nevada into northern Arizona and then into southern Arizona around the first part of February. And that's when they got the cold temperatures. I want to take a look at the graphics, and we'll start out by looking at on the 30th, it rained here. And the cold air spread south, just east of the Sierras, from Nevada, Utah, down into Arizona. And as we move down to Yuma, you'll see that the temperatures there, the 1st through the 4th of February, in downtown Yuma were 30 degrees, but in some of the outlying areas dropped into the 20s. And that is what has impacted the area around Yuma and the Coachella Valley, and will probably impact prices of lettuce for time to come. Jasmine?
All right. Well, like you said, it was just a gorgeous day today. Hard to think about those freezing temperatures. We do have 360 coverage tonight of the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. And look at this. The celebrities and the pros were swinging away today. Oh, there it goes. But, folks, this one actually counts. The tournament officially got underway. And this is what the leaderboard looks like right now. We can let you know Steve Marino and D.A. Points are both tied for the lead at 7 under par. Alex Cheka is in third place at 6 under par. And defending champ Dustin Johnson, how he's doing? Well, not even close to the top. He's tied for 106th place, hitting 2 over par. And we were there today when one guy pulled off a rare golfing feat.
I hit it just right. You know, this is luck. I mean, you know, even hole-in-ones or shots like this is always, 80% luck. I mean, you can hit a great shot, but, it took the break perfectly. You can't judge that from 240 yards, But it was one of these great shots, what I will remember for the rest of my life.
And I'm sure all of us remembering it and writing about it, making headlines probably across the nation. That was Alex Cheka with a double birdie, also known as an albatross. He's one shot behind the leaders. We'll see how he does. Meanwhile, over 6 decades ago, a young 20-year-old, a man, began selling tickets for the Pro-Am. Well, 60 years later, he's still here. We're going to introduce you to Dick Searle from Monterey. He began working the tournament in 1947, which makes him the longest running volunteer at the Pro-Am. He met President Ford, he's met Jack Lemmon, and of course, Clay Walker.
People that started it had all these anticipations that were going to happen, and they did happen, and they continue to happen.
What a man. Searle said one new and unique thing this year is the beautiful weather, and we couldn't agree with him more. Now, I also caught up with other volunteers today, some coming as far away as Minnesota, just packing up and catching the flight out here to work this event and volunteer. Again, all for charity. Okay, well, we want to show you the rundown for tomorrow. Make note of this. Tee times for the second round of the Pro-Am. Dustin Johnson tees off at 9:17 a.m. Phil Mickelson, 9:50 a.m. John Daly at 8:22 a.m. You have D.A. Points at 8:33 a.m. and Steve Moreno at 8 a.m. And now about this.
You don't want people to bombard you at
Yeah,
whatever restaurant
you might have missed this at 5 p.m., but we want to fast forward to 15 minutes from now. If you missed it, we're going to have the exclusive interview with actors Andy Garcia, Anthony Anderson, and George Lopez, who actually poked fun at one of his famous friends. Who was it that he taunted? Well, the interview, again, coming up. For all things Pro-Am, though, go to kcba.com and click on the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am tab there at the top of the homepage. And that will take you to everything you need to know, from tickets to parking, the shuttles, the times, and the cost. And, of course, don't forget all those celebrities who are playing out there this week. And we'll also post our stories from the course.
And now tonight, big news for Manhunt Monday. Monterey County Sheriff's deputies say another suspect we featured right here at Central Coast News is in custody tonight. This is Rick Redis. Deputies say he did not comply with his sex offender registration requirements. We first showed you his picture on November 1st of last year. Deputies say that Redis was arrested in San Luis Obispo County on February 1st. So a big thanks to everyone who watches Central Coast News every Monday at 5:05 and 10:05 for Manhunt Monday. Because of you, police are arresting the bad guys across the Central Coast. So keep watching every Monday and spread the word for Manhunt Monday.
Well, tonight we're learning more about the man accused of drowning someone under the Arroyo Seco Bridge in 2009. Inedino Pereira pleaded guilty to first-degree murder today. Here's a picture of Inedino Pereira. Deputies arrested Pereira and his then 17-year-old nephew, Alvaro Gonzalez, in August after deputies found the body of Crescencio Garcia underneath the bridge. The district attorney says Pereira and his accomplice went for drinks with the victim, then stole his wallet, beat him unconscious, and threw him into the Arroyo Seco River outside Greenfield. Pereira faces 25 years to life in prison for murder. He's going to be sentenced in March.
Right now, turning to a consumer alert tonight, we are learning more about several cases of identity theft in South Monterey County. Today, Central Coast News discovered an unlikely victim, the Gonzales police chief. Chief Paul Miller says that he's the very first of 15 known victims of identity theft in the city. Gonzales police say they don't think a local business is responsible for the thefts. Instead, police think someone is hacking credit card information and putting the information on a new card to rack up the charges.
And unless a merchant says, hey, let me see the card, show me some ID, you'd never know. Police department.
Gonzales police are looking at surveillance video to see if they can spot people using the stolen cards. And another consumer alert that you should be aware of. The California Supreme Court says merchants in the state can no longer ask credit card customers for their zip codes. That ruling came down today. Apparently, asking for zip codes violates a long-standing California law passed to protect the privacy of credit card users.
All right, so if you're hoping the sunny weather is going to stick around for Valentine's Day this weekend, you might be in luck. Of course, our chief meteorologist Norm Hoffman has the forecast standing by.
Plus, check out this crazy video, what some people do for a thrill.